This one is underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Antonio Gibson is an absolute dart with the ball in his hands, and he can make you miss, and he can run over you. Took a little while to crack the starting lineup as a rookie, but boy, was he sensational when he did. Went for 115 yards and 3 scores in a Thanksgiving Day clobbering of the Dallas Cowboys. And Washington, they feel like they had a real find when they took him in the 3rd round last year, number 66 overall, and he justified their decision.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Fitzpatrick going to give to Gibson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Mike 54. Hey, color. They gonna need some therapy after this. Mike 54. Mike 54. Come on. Go ahead.
Now Fitzpatrick. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 43. A handoff running left is Gibson. It's a first down and more for Gibson. And finally wrestled down at the 11. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation we were talking about with one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Here's Gibson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
Hey, check Mike 21. Mike 21. Check Mike 21. Hey, 5-0. 34. 3. Check 50.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
On 3rd down, here's Gibson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 Washington. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Now this Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
And that will be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Now, they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got
fighting through, and he's got space. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he goes
first down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 63 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Now left side on the swing pass. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Giants, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Good coverage on the outside. And I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Fitzpatrick. That's Samuel, caught left side. And down inside the 15 he goes. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run the toss now with Gibson. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Play action now. Fitzpatrick. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Credit the Giants defense that time in pass coverage. 4th down. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
Second and 10.
Throwing Jones. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Jones on third down.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by the former Giant, Landon Collins.
And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So first and 10 now from the 30. Following the interception here, Fitzpatrick. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Now a first and 10 at the 11.
They'll run on first down. Gibson. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4.
69 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Working with a second and 3. Here's a give to Gibson.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington.
Antonio Gibson,
his second touchdown on the season.
And Washington is able to stretch their lead.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And he's got it to make it now 13-0.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Now this is going to be returned from the back line of the end zone.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Four receivers now in the formation. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Jones. Call it a 3-yard gain, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. He'll buy some time right. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
That's taken on the 25. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. A handoff for Gibson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 91 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Antonio Gibson, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, check Mike 21, check Mike 21. Let's go.
Fitzpatrick now. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Mike 20! Mike 54. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. On first down, Jones. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. He'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9. Throwing again on second down. Jones. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Now Jones to throw on third down. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. So we've reached halftime here at our nation's capital with a Washington football team on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! The Giants set to get the football, and they trail here as we get back underway in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back to throw. Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Yards, good enough for a first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. So that one a disaster. A big loss there with 2nd down coming up. From the gun, Jones. Open target here, Darius Slayton.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Operating from the gun, Jones. Eluding the pressure right. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And got his man complete. The 20,
Another dog, baby.
touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 87 yards. And Washington able to stretch that lead out even further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. From the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
58, right over there, Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Quit talking about it and bring it.
They'll go again with Gibson. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that,
I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Running the sweep with McLaurin. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming. Fitzpatrick to throw for it on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Now Bell trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Gibson here running out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. To throw is Fitzpatrick. Escaping the pressure right. Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. And who's got it? The Giants. Well, number 1 on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the 3rd. That right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Oh, Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. Picked off at the 22. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. On 1st down, it's Gibson, able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
Bell is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that will bump the lead up to 26. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7, past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
At the 32-yard line.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The Giants on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Off the play fake. Jones. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21.
Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Eight yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Switch up, switch up. Back, back, back. 35. Show it
up. Once more, Gibson. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
They'll run on first down. Gibson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. On the counter, here's Bell. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Not much there, only a yard. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Mike 16, Mike 16.
Back to throw. Jones. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Looking to throw. Jones. Flush to his right. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Silver, Silver.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. First down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
So a victory here for the Washington football team.
And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was that they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Washington, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.